The drive from Cabramatta to Springwood would take about an hour and a half, but it felt like 100 hours because of the image that was in my head of what to expect when we arrived. And that image was of cakes, a table full of gorgeous homemade cakes. There were sponges with jam and cream and orange cakes and patty cakes, not cupcakes, patty cakes, and some of them were butterfly cakes where you'd take the top off, cut it in half and pop it back in with the cream. Absolutely delicious. I lived at Cabramatta. Est lived at Springwood, and I thought she ate cakes all the time.
Now we're going to the intro.
And now we're going to the intro. Oh, and that's it. Every beginning is a new beginning, and I love that about live video. Kaz, thank you for joining me. How are you?
We're very well, thank you.
You're looking very afternoon tea-like, magnificent.
Exactly. And when you were just talking about cakes, then I thought, I was thinking of my grandmother more than my mother. And I got my nice little niece family and my arrowroot cracker.
Oh, perfect, yes. Well,
that was Nana.
That was
and
Nana.
Nana's pearl. Nana loved cakes if somebody else made them, but if you went to Nana's house, you got a milk arrowroot biscuit.
That's true.
Or a wheaten in the morning. That was the morning tea biscuit was the wheat meal.
With butter.
The afternoon biscuit was the milk arrowroot or the niece.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have your wheat meal with butter?
Yes, with butter.
Yeah, of
when
course.
she was feeling particularly generous.
Which wasn't always, and I've got a beautiful story that I might share about Nana later. And we loved our Nana, didn't we?
We did indeed love our Nana.
Now, what's your first... Sorry?
Nana's pearls. Nana's pearl little clip-on earring.
Yes.
Nana's brooch.
How beautiful.
And this is, which one's Nana's cup? This one's Nana's cup. This one's Nana's cup. Nana, I got this from Nana's house when Nana left us. This one came from Mum's. This has got a lovely photo of Cavill Avenue Surfers Paradise.
Oh, that was when...
Nana, actually, because Nana had lots of stuff from Surfers Paradise and Brisbane. She was a bit of a collector of things north of the border. There's a little bit of Brisbane there, little glass dish of Brisbane City Hall. So this is my collection of random shit. Is all the little bits of family memorabilia, and this is about it. This is the sole extent of stuff in my house that I have sentimentally kept, apart from a stack of records.
That's very impressive, Kaz. I'm impressed.
Well, when you move around enough...
I know. Oh, well, that's not true. I mean, I moved a lot when we were, in my early adult years. Every 2 years we were in a new house, and it all came with me.
This is the only stuff that's actually remained of carrying around with me, apart from couches.
Yeah.
The big pieces of furniture I've carried.
Well, that's nice that they're from Nana too. So my piece of random shit, my first piece, is also Nana related. The pearls didn't come from Nana, they came from my mother-in-law.
Right.
But this tea set, the story goes, and I didn't know him then, of course, but apparently my dad, who's the eldest in the family, so for the viewer, Kaz and I are cousins, first cousins, and my dad was the oldest in the family, and Kaz's dad, John, is the youngest in the family, and just the most beautiful man, well, both of them. A family full of beautiful people. Anyway, this tea set my dad bought for Nana with his first pay packet.
Oh,
I know, it's so gorgeous. So
I know.
sweet.
Do you remember the story of what your dad bought with his second pay packet?
Tell us, because that's a beautiful story too.
That's when he bought my father, who was very, younger teenager,
Yeah.
a horse. His
Oh.
first horse, because he'd always wanted a horse.
And so my
hence-
dad bought your dad a horse.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that?
I know, it's beautiful, and there's many photos of Dad with this little horse
Yeah.
that brother bought him.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Do you have another piece of random shit that you'd like to share?
Oh, this is this is a Nana piece. I have carried. I don't know. You may have remembered seeing this in my house. Every single house I've been to
Yes.
for the last many years, I have had this beautiful piece of glass. Now it's actually an ashtray
Yes.
because Nana smoked, and I did want to find a packet of Cool today, but I thought that possibly you can't even find them, and I probably couldn't afford it in this in economic climate. But
I know.
yeah. There was lots of ashtrays. This one I didn't ever see really as an ashtray other than just a beautiful piece of glass, coloured glass that I've carted around with me everywhere. These are little ashtrays that came from Nana's. Little tiny cut glass dishes, little ashtray thing on the side. And that one, I don't think that's an ashtray. That came from that's David's grandmother's, great grandmother's actually.
Oh, okay.
Grandma. And another piece of random, it's not shit, Auntie Bub. It's a beautiful bowl that we got from Auntie Bub. Last time we went, you remember we went down a few years ago,
Yes.
Robin? And Auntie Bub was trying to clean up her cupboard and give us things.
And she did, and I was saving I did get those things out today, and I was going to share them, but I thought, no, I'm going to save them because they're so unusual that I thought they deserved their own show.
Right, very good.
Yes.
Very good.
So now
Yes.
the next piece of random shit that I've got is,
Yes.
first of all, Matt made a cake because he's our chief cake maker in the family. But it's this cake tin. So when you talk about what people give you, this came from the mother of my very, very dear friend Kathy and her sister Mary. So Kathy and Mary's mother Betty gave this to me, and Betty was a very influential woman in my life, massively influential. And after my mum died, Betty was the first woman really to bring me into the fold. And she nurtured me, and she kept me safe for those few years that I needed being kept safe in. And so she gave me this cake tin, and I absolutely adore it. And every time I make a cake, I think of Betty. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, is if you use something that you've kept for such a long time, she died many years ago, to have the memory of the person as you're using an everyday item, I think is must be what eternity is.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree. I think of that every time I open the cupboard and see these cups, and thinking of sentimental things.
Yes.
These aren't old, but these were given to me by my goddaughter, who is my father's first grandchild.
Yes.
My eldest daughter's eldest daughter, who today was the mother, birthed our first next generation. I am a great aunt on today, so this is we have a William John.
Oh, how wonderful. Congratulations to the whole family. That's amazing. Such good news.
3 kilos, baby boy, very healthy and big. So yes, we can wet his head with a nice cup of tea.
Oh, well, all right. Well, I'll pour mine too. And that's my phone ringing. I'm just going to turn that off. All right, so let's have a cup of tea. And I've got some cake, and I've got some cream to go on the cake.
Oh, I haven't got
know.
a very flat start.
But you've got your biscuits, Kaz. So look,
I've
in
got my milk
fact-
out.
it was many years later that you told me that you didn't eat cake every day at your house, did you?
I obviously ate cake a fair bit. You don't get this body from nothing.
Oh, I don't know. I've done my fair share of not eating cake and still getting to, a reasonable size. But you didn't eat cake all the time, did you?
No, but we did eat cake a lot because my mother was a cook.
She baked cakes.
She baked cakes.
Yeah.
But Auntie Marion was the one that always came up with the fairy cakes.
Oh.
With the cupcakes with the... As often as not, that was Auntie Marion.
Okay.
That brought up
And
trays of those patty cakes.
do you remember, I don't know if you do, I don't know whether it was just my mother, there seemed to be this intense competition between the sisters-in-law, was there?
Not that I ever knew of.
Around cake baking.
Yeah. No. Not from my mother.
Maybe because
Possibly
she...
because she just knew she was so good.
That's right, she was the best. And so maybe it was my mother who was going, damn, she makes better cakes than me. I'm so competitive around this. It could easily have been.
It is. I remember one of my favourite things to eat whenever we all got together as a family was actually Auntie Bub's chocolate coconut slice.
Oh, yes. And we've all got the recipe for that and we make it. Maybe we'll do that next time. I'm thinking we should have some cake or some baking kind of element to random shit in my house.
This is very good. Yep. I have many of my mother's recipes that I can share with the group.
All right, that sounds wonderful. Kaz, thank you for sharing all of that with us.
You're welcome.
It was so nice to chat to you, and I hope that we can get together again soon, seeing as how you're just up the road.
I know, just inside that little Noosa, just past that little boundary there.
Yes.
That little border.
Yeah, we'll be there again soon. Thanks, Kaz. Cheers. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to, Matt says that he's going to eat the cake. He said to me, Mum, he said, are you going to eat the cake? And I went, no, darling, because it'll put, brown things in chocolate in my mouth, and that won't look very good. And he said, all right, well, I'll be out to eat it. So I'm going to eat it. You're going to come back tomorrow and see who we've got on next.